boop, 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 boop. About 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Good to see you again. Or good to see you for the very first time. It is Mental Health Mondays, where we talk about advocacy, resources, and ending the stigmatization that is associated with mental health. So today, we're going to be talking about self-care. Brian, will you put like a really fun, like SpongeBob? You know how like SpongeBob does the rainbow? Mm-hmm. I want that to do like self-care. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Today, we will be talking about self-care. What exactly is self-care? A lot of people wonder about what self-care is, what it looks like, how to implement it in your daily life. Self-care is not one size fits all. Self-care looks way different for every single person that engages in self-care. Self-care can look like a lot of things. It can look like bubble baths, watching Netflix, taking a day off work, cuddling with your cat, journaling, doing an art project, writing poetry. All of those things consist of self-care. But it's important to discuss other aspects of self-care that aren't talked about it. Like when you are experiencing a mental illness, how hard self-care can actually be for you. Getting out of bed in the morning can be exhausting. Brushing your teeth can be exhausting. Setting a boundary, which is self-care, can be exhausting. It's so important when you're looking at self-care to look at things that will benefit you in the long run. So yeah, self-care is bubble baths and journaling and all that jazz, but self-care is also being able to set a boundary for yourself, being able to stand in your power, knowing when to say no, and knowing when you're taking on way too much. Compassion fatigue is so real, and self-care can definitely help mitigate compassion fatigue, which is what we'll talk about next week. So how do you implement self-care when it feels like the hardest thing in the world to do? The greatest way you can start working on your self-care in a less heavy, less intricate way is just incorporating it into your already existing routine. A lot of times with self-care, when we're already burnt out, it can feel like the biggest thing in the world to add on another thing to your already existing schedule. I don't want to get up 30 minutes earlier and do yoga. I don't want to get up 30 minutes earlier and do journaling. I don't want to set aside time to do all of this stuff because I'm already so busy as it is. I can't even make time to hang out with my friends. Very valid point and very important to put into perspective. You never want to overwhelm yourself. It's so important that you implement self-care where you can. Implementing self-care where you can is in and of itself self-care. And the best thing that you can do is incorporate it into your already existing schedule. Maybe it just looks like when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, doing a few affirmations. I am wonderful, I am beautiful, I am safe, I am strong, I am ambitious, I'm going to take on the day. Self-care looks way different for everybody. So if you can find a way to incorporate it into your already existing routine, it will make self-care that much easier. So maybe you have a bedtime routine. Maybe a part of that bedtime routine is drinking tea. Maybe while you're waiting for your tea to be made, you could just do some general stretches in your chair. Something simple like that. Start small, because self-care and loving yourself and taking care of yourself can feel like the hardest, biggest thing in the entire world, but it doesn't have to be. You can take care of yourself, you should take care of yourself, and it is absolutely 110% okay to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, all you have is you. And so you have to take care of your mental health and your wellness. So in conclusion, self-care is not one size fits all. It looks very different for everybody. And the easiest way you can start with self-care is incorporating it into your already existing routine. Take care of yourself. Thank you for watching Mental Health Mondays. Put more suggestions in the comments of what you'd like to see in the future, and join us next week for compassion fatigue, where we talk about what compassion? Mm-hmm. And join us next week where we talk about compassion fatigue, what it is and how to combat it. Thanks so much for joining us, and don't forget, if you want to learn more about the Recovery Center of Hamilton County, visit our website, recoverycenterhc.org. Bye!